Sign it. We're done, my husband whispered, sliding divorce papers across the funeral home table. I stared at him, still holding my mother's program. You're doing this today? He looked at my stomach. Especially today. I didn't cry. That confused him. My name is Danielle Brooks, and I'm 34 years old. I was 7 months pregnant when I buried my mother and my marriage on the same day. I work as a public school administrative assistant. Nothing glamorous, nothing flashy, just steady work and steady pay. I've always been the calm one in every room, the quiet fixer, the daughter who stayed close when everyone else moved away. My mom was my anchor. When she got sick, I packed up our apartment and moved back into her small brick house to care for her. Aaron said he supported me at first. He held my hand at doctor visits and nodded like a good husband. But when the medical bills stacked up on the kitchen counter, his tone changed. He started calling me emotional, dramatic, said I was choosing my mother over our marriage. I wasn't rich or glamorous, but I had something they didn't expect. I had patience, I had receipts, and I had a plan forming the day he thought I was too broken to notice. If you've ever had to stay strong when life hit you twice at once, subscribe to this community. Have you ever been betrayed while you were already grieving? Tell me below. Click hype or like this video so others who feel alone can find it. Let's go. The funeral home smelled like lilies and old carpet. The air felt thick, almost hard to breathe. We had just finished the service. I could still hear the echo of the last hymn in my ears. I slipped into a small back room to sit down. My feet were swollen, my back ached. That was when Aaron closed the door behind him. He did not hug me, he did not ask if I was okay. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a folded stack of papers. "I can't do this anymore, Danielle," he said. His voice was low, almost bored. "Do what?" I asked. "Support your pregnant wife?" He sighed like I was the problem. "Your mother drained everything. I'm not sinking with you." The words hit harder than the coffin closing earlier that day. He said he had been thinking about this for months. Months, while I was sleeping in hospital chairs, while I was rubbing my mother's back at night. I noticed his sister standing in the doorway, pretending not to listen. Then he raised his voice. "I'm not raising a child in this mess." Heads turned in the hallway. His aunt leaned closer, whispering that maybe I was too emotional for marriage. I felt every eye on me. Then he dropped the real blow. He told me he had already moved his money into a separate account and removed my access the night before my mother died. That was when I knew. This was planned. The first sting came fast. After the burial, I went to pay for the small meal my mother had arranged years ago. My card declined. I tried again. Declined. My cheeks burned. Aaron stood behind me and shrugged. "Not my responsibility anymore," he said loud enough for cousins to hear. I felt small. Then the whispers started. He told extended family I had been spending recklessly, that I was unstable from stress. His aunt shook her head at me and said, "Maybe it's better he left before the baby comes." I wanted to scream. Instead, I stayed quiet. I listened. I memorized every word. The third blow was colder. Aaron began pushing me to sign the divorce papers quickly, for the baby's sake, he kept saying. He even added a custody clause that gave him majority control, claiming I was not in the right state of mind. I read every line carefully. I stopped reacting to his insults. I stopped defending myself. That scared him more than tears ever could. At night, while the house was silent except for the ticking kitchen clock, I gathered documents, old tax returns, screenshots of bank transfers, voice notes I had saved when he forgot I could hear him in the background discussing money with his sister. I was still grieving, still pregnant, still exhausted, but I was no longer blind. I was watching him closely now. What they did not know was that I never deleted anything. Every message, every voicemail, every careless comment he thought I would forget. Months earlier, I had felt something shift in him, so I started saving proof. I had voice messages where Aaron talked about hiding money so he would not be responsible for medical debt. I had emails showing he transferred joint funds into an account under his sister's name. I even had a recorded call where he admitted he was timing the divorce to avoid bills connected to my mother's care. I was not emotional, I was documenting. I kept my face calm, I nodded when he talked about fairness. Meanwhile, I quietly contacted someone who had known my family for years. I did not tell Aaron. I did not argue. They thought I was too broken to fight back. They saw a pregnant woman in black clothes and assumed she was weak. They had no idea I was building something stronger than their whispers. The person I called was Mr. Whitaker, the old family lawyer who handled my mother's small estate years ago. His office smelled like old books and dust, the kind of scent that makes you think of long memory and quiet power. He listened without interrupting as I played him the recordings. His eyebrows rose slowly. "He picked the worst possible time to underestimate you," he said. Mr. Whitaker explained how moving marital assets like that could be seen as fraud. He talked about illegal shielding and financial misconduct. His voice stayed calm, but his eyes sharpened. Meanwhile, Aaron grew more arrogant. I heard from relatives that he was telling people, "She won't fight, she needs me." I let him believe that. Mediation was scheduled. Aaron assumed I would sign quickly because I was pregnant and tired. He thought pressure would break me. Instead, it focused me. I walked into every meeting quietly, hands folded over my stomach, saying little. Inside, I was steady, cold, ready. The mediation took place in Mr. Whitaker's office. Aaron arrived first, smiling like he had already won. His attorney slid the settlement papers across the polished wooden table. "This is generous," she said. I looked at the numbers. Then I looked at him. "Before I sign anything, there's something you should hear," I said. Mr. Whitaker pressed a button. Aaron's own voice filled the room, clear and undeniable, talking about moving money to avoid responsibility. The sound of it made the room feel smaller. Aaron's smile disappeared. "You recorded me?" he snapped. I met his eyes. "You underestimated me." Mr. Whitaker laid out printed email trails and bank statements. His attorney's tone changed immediately. She began whispering to him instead of speaking confidently. Fraud, asset concealment, legal consequences. His sister's name appeared on the transfers. Aaron's face went pale. "We can fix this privately," he muttered. I felt no anger now, just clarity. "You chose public humiliation," I said. "Now we'll handle it properly." The settlement shifted. I received a fair division of assets, part of the medical bills were covered, custody terms were balanced in my favor. When he walked out, he looked smaller than he had at the funeral. Weeks later, I gave birth to a healthy baby girl. The hospital room smelled clean and sharp, like antiseptic and fresh sheets. Aaron was not in the room. I held my daughter and felt both grief and strength at the same time. I missed my mother deeply, but I also felt proud. Financial stability came through the settlement. Months later, Aaron tried to apologize. He said he had panicked. He said he was sorry. I listened. Then I told him we would keep things structured and focused on our child, nothing more. He thought I was weakest at my lowest. But grief does not make you powerless, it makes you clear. I walked forward steady, no longer afraid of being underestimated. If you have ever been betrayed during a time of grief, you know that pain cuts deeper than simple words. Has someone tried to take advantage of you when you were vulnerable? Share your story in the comments. Subscribe to stand with others who refuse to be broken. Click hype to help this story reach others who need it. Did this story hit home? Let me know by liking the video and sharing your thoughts in the comments. Click hype to help this story find others who have felt the same way. Your support makes a huge difference, and I am grateful you are here listening. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments. If this story touched your heart, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more stories about resilience, dignity, and quiet justice. Because some lessons don't come with applause, they come with peace.